Well, we're wrapping up the first day of week 3 of the LCS right now with coverage brought to you by Alienware here in the LCS Arcade powered by Alienware. I'm joined right now by Licorice from Cloud9 to talk about the continued win streak. Sven, I believe, now has a 65 KDA, which is insane. I mean, this is wild how well you guys are doing. Did you anticipate this at the start of the split?
I think we knew we were going to be a strong team. Personally, I didn't really expect to not lose a game because I think that's kind of a weird thing to expect because, we boot camped in Korea. We scrimmed one NA team while we were there, which was CLG. And then, it's hard to know how good everyone else is going to be. But I knew we were a good team. I just didn't know, how good we were basically.
How much of this success that you guys are having do you think is because of that boot camp? Because you guys have referenced it a lot.
I think a lot of the success comes from there. I think it's kind of a mix. I think that the boot camp itself, or boot camps in general, are kind of just places to go where everyone works harder. Because when you go to Korea, everyone's more in the mindset of I want to improve and I want to get better and I want to climb solo queue, which I think is really good. And I think that having Vulcan and Sven take the initiative to go out on their own and spam solo queue was a really good sign. And it was good that we gave them the opportunity to do that. But I think that if you took another team and gave them the same boot camp, they might not get the same thing out of it.
I know that Jack has been really enjoying the Cloud9 lost the offseason. Cloud9 lost the offseason. But does it feel good to you at all to have this, especially considering how much controversy there was around the roster changes?
There's a ton of controversy. I'm happy that it's kind of died down. I'm sure that as soon as we start losing, I will start to see it again. But for me, I'm happy with my teammates. I think they're all working super hard. And at the end of the day, I just want to win. And I'm really happy that we're winning.
I know you guys kind of played coy about what all went down, but I am kind of curious. Did you have a hand in selecting a lot of these players? I know that Jack talked a lot about how he was really trying to get Vulcan during the offseason, so I don't know if that was just him and Reaper coming up with that, or I don't know how much you had a hand in sort of helping to build out this roster.
It's just kind of a group process in general where, at the end of the season, we gave feedback. Obviously, it's up to Reaper and Jack at the end of the day. Any final decision is going to be up to them, but everyone gave feedback. And then when we decided we were moving the direction we were moving with Dennis, Sneaky, and Zazel all leaving, then they were if you have any ideas for who you'd want, please give them to us. I think it was actually earlier in the process because, you're not going to kick or get rid of players without knowing or at least having some idea of what your replacements would be. So, I think everyone was a little bit involved, but at the end of the day, it is just Reaper and Jack.
Did you say any of the names of these players? I ask only because it'd be interesting if you're it was Vulcan all along. I knew that this man would help, or Sven or whatever.
I think that Vulcan was actually one of our only options based on other teams' movements and just based on the support players that we wanted. So we were mainly looking at Vulcan, which is part of what drove the buyout price really high, and then all that off-season stuff happened. So I think Vulcan was the name that we were talking about from the start, and then Sven, there was Sven and a couple others that we were looking at, and then we ended up deciding on Sven.
Well, speaking of Sven, so as I mentioned in the beginning, 65 KDA now. People are, I'm sure this is not his plan or your plan, but a lot of the audience is now can he get to 100? What do you think of him and playing with him? Because he faced so much criticism for basically 2 years straight. He was kind of beat down by a lot of the fans online. What has it been like playing with him now, and especially seeing him in the form that he's in?
I think it's been really great. He works really hard. He's a really good player, and he's been pretty easy to work with as well. And I think he just I saw him last year at LCS. I didn't know him, but he just seems happier now, which is
yeah, that's. I picked up on that. I said that after our interview last week was that I felt that way about him.
Yeah, I think that, I don't want to speak for him too much, but I think that at the end of the day, it was really 100% his choice to join C9, and that he's really happy he was here. And he's just fully committed to the team, and he's doing really well. So I'm really happy for him.
How do you think your bot lane compares to some of the other bot lanes in the LCS? Because even a certain ADC who likes to trash talk people was giving him praise in an interview with me last week.
Mm-hmm. I think they're the best right now. I think that they work really hard, and right now I would say they're the best. We already played Team Liquid, and they did really well against Doublelift and Core JJ, who are kind of held up as the best bot lane in North America, and like they're at least contending for the #1 spot.
How long until they can start to contend for best in the West? Can Sven reclaim the title again after all these meme years?
You know, I did see a meme where I think it was like Vulcan's face photoshopped onto Mithy, and they kind of have the same hair. Yeah. And it was kind of already a meme, like best in the West. Yes. So I mean, I can see it already. So
it was just a delay of 2 years before everything came back into order. Other than that, how long do you think that you guys can keep this win streak going? Because you've got a couple more games against some tough opponents, and then I think you're facing EG and CLG, who are kind of anchoring the standings right now. So, what do you think that you can complete, like the first round robin at least without losing a game?
I think it's definitely possible that we win a lot without losing, but I also at the same time would say that I don't think having a perfect season is actually a good goal, because I think that you should be trying things and like experimenting and not just running the same old thing that's going to win, because usually when you get to playoffs, that's not what actually wins championships or like does well at Worlds. So I think that branching out now is going to be really good for us. And I would say that losing would actually be really helpful.
Do you think that, well, it's very easy for you to lose tomorrow if you want. You just make a couple bad draft picks. But do you think that you're in the state yet where you guys are feeling comfortable and you can experiment? Do you feel like we've seen experimentation on stage from you guys yet?
I don't think we've really experimented much on stage. So far, we picked like comfort, pushing lanes, winning lanes, and I think our drafts have been really, really good. I think that the experimentation mainly comes in with like different focuses in the draft, where like we're going to pick, I don't know, like Renekton and Elise would be like the classic top side focus draft, which is something that not a lot of people are playing right now, but that would be kind of like the top lane draft. Or you can pick, I don't know, Callista, Thresh, or like, I don't even think they're meta right now, but. Sure.
Something very lore centric. No, I'm bring in Lucian and Senate. No, but I see what you're saying. I do like that the first thing that came to your mind, you're like, experimentation, like a top lane focused draft. Wouldn't it be nice to run something very top lane focused? Well, I'm excited. I mean, I do think that I've seen this happen time and time again, where it feels like we have our top team like dominate and they win spring or summer, and then they go to international, and it just feels like that one style that carried them through for a long time isn't able to bring them to international success. So I'm glad to hear you thinking that. Oh, I guess the final question is: for so long, C9 fans have thought of C9 as perennial second place. Like, it's been a long time since you guys have won. Do you think? I know Brox is coming in soon, and everybody already says we're winning. TL Broxa. But do you think that this is the split where you guys win?
It can be. I honestly thought we were going to win summer 2019. I like going into those finals the night before. I like believed so much that we were going to win, and then we like went up 2-1 and we didn't end up winning. I think that this year feels like a totally different team. I think we definitely can win, but I don't know. Should is such a weird word. Like, I think if we work really hard and like keep improving and don't just like get stuck in like a play style or like stuck in our mistakes, that we definitely like are a winning team, and we can win the split, and we can win summer, and we can do really well at Worlds.
Anything you want to say to any of the C9 fans?
I mean, I think it's just like the support so far has been really amazing, like more than I expected. Honestly, and I'm just really happy right now, and I'm like really proud of my teammates, and I'm glad that all the fans are supporting them as well.
Well, thank you so much for the interview. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports right here on my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching that interview. I am lurking in the shadows off to the side of the studio right now as the game is happening behind. I just wanted to gesture back there and let you know that those computers, the monitors that they're using, you can actually win that right now by going to the link in the video description, alienware.com/Travis. We've got some cool information over there for the giveaway they're doing for that desktop, that monitor. Quite neat. Also, while you're over there, you can save 10% by using Travis 10 off. So check out, they've reactivated the code. So if you've used it in the past and it didn't work, try again. Either way, thanks so much for watching this. Hope you win something. And if not, hope you buy something. Because it's nice when they see that, because then I continue to get sponsored by them, and then I don't end up homeless.